would back up floodwater.
Oh, I see. So there was a dam here at one point.
Exactly.
Yeah. I see. So this might have been one of their major water sources, huh?
I think that's true, yeah.
Yeah. Where are you guys from?
Boulder.
Boulder, okay. I was just in Longmont.
Oh, perfect.
My dad lives there.
Oh, yeah. Our good friends live there.
Okay.
Where are you from?
Northern California, Mendocino County.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I know it. I'm from California.
Where
are you photographing us?
I have a video camera here, yes. I'm making a video of Do You Not Want to Be Filmed?
Well, I think I would have appreciated being asked before you did it.
Oftentimes I do, and kind of in the middle of the conversation or something like that, or so as not to stop the thing. But I'll just delete the whole thing if you want.
But I'm not too weirded out either way. I just would have appreciated doing it on the front end.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
I make YouTube videos, so I'm just making a tour of the...
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Hey there, how's it going? Good afternoon. I am back at the Tsankawi Native American cliff dwelling ruins. It is a national monument site. I've been here before. I recorded my last video here, but wanted to come back and record this one as well because it is a nice walk and a gorgeous sunny day. So some of the caves here from the Native American village that was here for hundreds of years. Some of them perhaps natural caves, others clearly carved out, as you will see as I do this hike. And so one of the awkward situations that you end up in is the reality of filming people while traveling, trying to capture interactions with locals or other travelers in the course of your adventures. Whoa! Okay, it just goes and then stops, but man, is this natural or carved out? I just cannot tell because the surface of the inside does not make it clear that this was man-made, but probably, I mean, that kind of a weird shape poking in like that seems like must be created by people, but who knows? And so this brings up the question of, do I ask people before filming them? Now, obviously, in that clip at the beginning, I did not, or the woman wouldn't have been annoyed at me. So why don't I ask people before filming them and putting them on YouTube? That is a very good, valid, solid question there. So here you can see, obviously, that must have been man-made and probably had, poles sticking into them and then maybe a structure sticking out, something like that. And so, yes, sometimes I do ask people before filming them and putting them on YouTube, but most of the time I do not. And the reason is just that it is impractical, to say the least, and for all practical purposes, impossible to ask everybody who appears in my videos whether they want to be in my videos. Now just imagine like a market scene. You walk into a market in Bangkok. It's just absurd to imagine that you're going to go around this crowd of people who don't even speak English probably and try to ask them, do you mind being in a YouTube video, to get their permission. So, in that kind of situation, it's just obvious. That is just ridiculous and impossible. Wow. Definite man-made caves here. You can see the soot. on the ceiling there. Very cool. I didn't see these ones before, so that's kind of why I wanted to come back and explore a little bit more. But of course, in the more one-on-one situations, and you can say, like, why don't you just ask them before filming that lady there? Then why didn't I ask them before turning on the camera? And there are various reasons why. Now, I do sometimes ask people, maybe in the course of, you know, as I said in that clip there, partway into the conversation, I'll say, by the way, I'm filming a YouTube video. Do you mind that I'm filming you and if I include you in the video or whatever? It just depends on the situation, but let's kind of analyze that interaction there, and I'll explain kind of the context. So I was there at Hovenweep National Monument in southeastern Utah, another area of Native American ruins, and I had done a hiking loop kind of similar to this and was on my way back, and then those guys were doing the same loop, but they were going the opposite direction. So they were walking towards me, and there was a sign for something dam, it said. I wasn't quite sure what it was, and then she was talking with the man there and happened to say something about it, and I realized that she knew something about it, and so I turned on the camera in order to capture that bit of info that she was delivering there, and then ended up having a little more of a conversation with them. But you can count in the video how long it takes before she says something, says, "Are you taking pictures of us?" And it was like 25 seconds or something like that. And so it wasn't far into it that she kind of confronted me there. And so maybe after talking with them for a little bit longer, then I would have said something. But to just like walk up to somebody on a trail and then just right off the bat say, "Do you mind if I film you for a YouTube video?" That is going to derail the conversation. And so I wouldn't have had that same interaction if I had said at the beginning, "Do you mind if I turn on my camera and start filming you here?" Because then she would have had questions, most likely. What are you filming me for? What is this video about? What is your YouTube channel? And so the interaction there, the conversation would have gone in a different direction. I mean, who knows? Maybe I could have just done that and then come back and asked her the question or whatever, but it isn't so easy to just, you know, stop random strangers and say, "Can I film you?" And so kind of the philosophy is ask for forgiveness instead of for permission when it comes to filming. That is mostly what I'm doing, is just going for it. And in my 12 years of being a travel vlogger, then this has only happened a handful of times. And so that is what this video is going to be about, is I'm going to tell you the stories of other times that I got into a little trouble, or just somebody objected to being filmed or being in one of my videos later after the fact, because they're kind of funny, weird, in some cases kind of sketchy situations that I got into, a couple of them, as a result of filming people. So let's get back up on the main trail there and keep on hiking around here. What a day. Sunny, as opposed to the other video when it was cloudy. Now, not a cloud in the sky. It is warm, but a breeze going, and so the wind slayer that I mentioned in my previous video is definitely crucial for today. Okay, here's the main trail, a ladder over there, and there are more ladders. You can see one up there, and the trail going along the cliff. So I don't know how often other travel vloggers ask people before filming them, but you can tell in most of those interactions. Watch any, you know, casual style travel video that isn't professionally done by National Geographic or whatever, vlogging, and you'll see people pointing a camera at somebody and talking with them, and most likely they did not ask them beforehand, "Hey, do you mind if I film you for my YouTube channel?" For one thing, you can just kind of tell by the interaction, it would be less casual if first you'd had this whole conversation about my YouTube channel and I'm filming, and can I film you, and do I have permission and all that. And then, okay, now let's get back to the conversation. That's gonna change things. So it is just kind of part of the job that you're gonna have to get used to the idea of filming people without their permission, and sometimes they might object, and then you'll have to deal with that situation when it comes up. So I'm basically going to go in chronological order of the various times that people have objected to being in my videos over the years of traveling. So the next incident, so the one at Hovenweep was just like a week ago, and so now we're going back in time to winter of 2012-2013. Now I'll mention that some of these are going to be very, very quick, short little stories, and others will be longer. So I flew to India in 2012 and was there for the supposed end of the world, December 21st, 2012. And it was right around that time, I forget if it was before or after. I think it was before. Now, one thing that I want to add here is that why did I post the clip of the lady that objected to being filmed? And it is because I offered to delete the clip, and she said basically, well, I'm not really that weirded out by it now that you've sort of told me that you're filming. She didn't seem to really object all that much to the filming once I kind of told her what was happening, so that's why I included it there. All right, so I flew to India in late November or early December of 2012. So more of the caves. And this time I will look for some of the petroglyphs that I didn't show in the last video that are up there on the cliff there. Let's get past these people. Speaking of awkward situations, don't want to annoy them. Now the main trail goes up there. Let's just kind of pop down here and see what we can see. Not a whole lot, I guess, but some more little caves. And so I flew into Delhi, India at the end of 2012 and immediately took a bus up to Dharamsala. I had never been there before. Being almost winter, then it was very cold there. And as anyone who has traveled in India in the cold probably knows, most hotels do not have heating inside them, the basic budget hotels. And so when it is like cold, getting down close to freezing, then it is not much warmer inside your room. And so I didn't stay there too long. I went back another time later when it was warmer, but I filmed some videos there. I was, a travel vlogger at the time. This was almost a decade ago, 9 years ago, yeah. End of 2012, but I'd been doing the YouTube thing for a while, and so I was making regular videos, and so I made a few videos of Dharamsala. And in case anyone was wondering, was I funding my travels with YouTube at the time? No, definitely not. I was making anywhere from $2 to $3 a day. I remember one day I made $7 in a day and was like, wow, that's serious money. I can pay for a hotel room in India for $7, That'll almost cover a full day of expenses if I'm on a budget. But basically I was making $80 a month or something like that. But I was making the videos, and so I filmed in Dharamsala, and then it was after the fact, and I don't remember when, but it was months or maybe even a year later or something like that, that I got a message through my Facebook page from a girl who had been in a cafe that I had filmed in one of my videos, and she was in the video and she objected and asked me to cut her out of the video. So definite man-made caves here. Lots of soot. And another one around the corner. I guess those are smoke holes. And then this one is actually a little bit bigger, even though the entrance is smaller. Yeah, so this one you can stand in. And then the smoke hole up there. Pretty cool. And you can see the scratch marks for how they carved it out. Very different from the other caves that I wasn't quite sure about. This one is just, clearly human-made. Not sure about the other ones, so maybe there were already some natural caves that they moved into, and then perhaps those got full up, and so they decided, okay, well, let's build some more. Who knows? And so this lady objected to being in my video. So what did I do then? Did I delete the video? No, I didn't. Luckily, I didn't have to, because there's this great feature in YouTube in which you can trim out parts of the video while it is still up on YouTube without canceling it, taking it down or anything. And YouTube applies the changes. And then if anyone watches the video after you've done that, then they just won't see that part of the video. So you can just, cut out a few seconds or a minute or whatever you want. And so that's what I did, and just removed her from the video. Let's go up here where I didn't go the last time. You can see another cave there, another one there. Let's see if there's anything worth checking out. Yeah, straight up there, there's a square hole that must be man-made, so let's take a look at that. All right, so the next story is a little more dramatic. So I flew to Reykjavik, Iceland in November of 2016. In fact, I landed the day after the presidential election between Trump and Clinton, Hillary Clinton. And so I had booked a one-way flight through WOW Airlines, which no longer exists, unfortunately. Low-cost airline of Iceland, which went out of business. But I bought a one-way flight from San Francisco to Reykjavik direct for, I believe, $199 plus the luggage was like $70 or something, so less than $300. Great deal. And then I land and look at the prices of things, and right away I realize I cannot stay here very long. It is insanely expensive. I even watched a video that was how expensive is Iceland, but it wasn't very comprehensive, and so I didn't realize what the prices were going to be like. And so I think the first day, then I booked another flight out of there going to Spain for like 5 days later. And so I wasn't making as much money at the time, and so that was part of the problem. Is my budget was really small, and Iceland was going to be putting me over budget. And all right, got another cave here. I filmed a bunch of videos there, and they did quite well. It was so worth it. I definitely made more than I spent on that trip, a lot more than I spent on that trip, in large part because of my How Expensive is Reykjavik video that I made, which was poor quality. It was filmed with my Olympus. I had my new Icelandic camera, but I was not filming with it quite yet. For some reason I didn't use it on that video. I don't know why, but I then started filming with the Icelandic camera, which was an improvement at least from the Olympus that I'd used for years before that. And so I filmed this video, How Expensive is Reykjavik, just walking around the town there, showing the prices and kind of complaining, because I was still just, my mind blown, $15 for a bowl of Asian soup, this should be, $6 or something. So I made this video and then posted it, and it did surprisingly well right off the bat there, in part because a local Reykjavik newspaper embedded the video in their website and wrote a story about it in Icelandic. And so it got 20,000 views in the first couple of days, which was just huge for me at the time. And I think that also really helped the algorithm, the SEO optimization of that video, for it to get a link like that and to get so many views right away. And so that video just kind of took off and never stopped going. This room is temporarily closed. That's funny. Oh, I guess because rocks collapsed. So I'll get back down to the main trail there. And so that video just kept going, and obviously it, got to the top of the searches for people wanting to go to Iceland. And so the thumbnail image for this video was this girl at Dunkin' Donuts that I had went up to at the counter and ordered a bagel, I think like a salmon and cream cheese bagel or something like that. It was like the cheapest thing on the menu for a substantial something to eat. And so I was just going for trying not to spend 30 bucks every meal there, which was hard because Iceland is expensive. But I went to the Dunkin' Donuts and got the lunch, and then I had been filming her with my Olympus camera hanging around my neck and then kind of holding on to it. So that is how I did it in the old days with the Olympus, because I had a camera strap. And so that was kind of a little bit helpful with the filming because I wasn't holding it like I am now. It was just hanging around my neck and you couldn't see any blinking lights or anything, so people didn't know if I was filming or not. I was obviously a tourist with a camera, but it wasn't clear that I was filming them. And so I post that video, and the video does very well, probably in part thanks to the cute girl in the thumbnail, although it wasn't a great photo because of the crappy quality of that camera. And cute girl doesn't automatically mean tons of views, but for various reasons, then that video got a bunch of views. I think it got up to 2 million, and it made me a good chunk of money. So it was later, and I don't remember exactly when, but I think maybe like 2 years later, that I got a message from that girl, the Dunkin' Donuts girl, on Instagram. And she was particularly upset about some of the comments saying, creepy things about her, basically, which I tried to delete. But I can't catch them all, especially if they are replies to somebody else's comment, then I likely won't see them. So anyways, she was kind of upset, and she also wanted some money. And so I exchanged a couple of messages with her. She mentioned a lawyer, like she's gonna try to sue me or something like that. And so what I did is, for one thing, the video wasn't making all that much money anymore, and I just didn't want the possibility of some kind of legal action, or maybe she objects and I get a community guidelines strike or something for using her in the thumbnail, and her objecting or whatever. So I deleted the video, but I also paid her. I paid her a nice chunk of money, not because I had to. I could have just deleted the video and said, too bad, video's down, bye-bye. But I paid her a nice chunk of change. Okay, I'll tell you how much. 500 bucks. The video had made quite a bit more than that, but I figured that was a pretty nice chunk of money for not having done anything other than sold me a bagel. And so the next story is a short one. I was in Stockholm, Sweden in fall of 2017, and I was filming a video about Stockholm, a tour of the city. And at the end of the video, I go into a bar and order some food and a beer, and then I did this panning of the room, and I think I might have done it twice. And it was the second time that there was this guy sitting alone in a chair kind of close to me, like I was at a like bar stool with a like high up little table, and then he was over there. And so I did this pan across the room, and then he says in English, but obviously a local guy, like, I don't like that, or don't film me, I don't like that, something like that. And so of course I didn't include that in the video. I might have still included the panning of the room, but without him being in it. But that was it. So that was the end of that one. And so here are some of the petroglyphs. There are a bunch more around the corner there. So look at this one. Might be hard to see, but it looks like some sort of a winged creature. A head there, a wing, and then the body coming down like that. pretty awesome. And then tons more right here.
Are you filming?
Yeah.
For what, YouTube?
Yep.
That's what I was guessing.
Yeah. Somebody talking to a camera, they're probably
Yeah.
YouTubing.
YouTubing,
Yeah.
living.
Yeah.
What's the handle?
Gabriel Traveler.
Gabriel Traveler?
Yeah, so it's travel videos.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'm actually telling a video story about awkward situations while filming people traveling.
Oh.
But with this as like the backdrop, so
Okay.
yeah.
Awkward situations while filming other people.
Exactly. Like people objecting to being filmed.
Oh, that's fun.
Do you object to being filmed?
No.
Cool.
Unless you want us to make a scene.
Yeah, if you could like throw a temper tantrum right now, that'd be great. Yeah. But yeah, so Gabriel Traveler, check it out. You'll see this will be the next video I post. So.
Awesome.
Oh, good luck.
Where are you guys from?
South Florida?
Oh, cool. Just road tripping or something, or?
Yeah, visiting
Nice.
Santa Fe.
Very cool.
It's incredible.
Long drive from Florida.
Yeah, we flew.
Oh, okay. Then in a
Road
car.
trip once landing.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Good luck.
Right on. Have fun. So there you can see, looks like a plant. And what the heck is that? Like a square box with a wheel on top? Some graffiti it looks like. And then a person with like a headdress. And then maybe another tree or something. A spiral. And some more over here. Another spiral. Hard to tell what the rest of this is, but definite scratch marks of ancient art. So pretty amazing. Remnants of a very different ancient culture. So this is going to be a real test of the wind slayer on my camera to see if it filters out all this wind noise, because it is a very blustery day up here. So the next story takes place just a week or so after the Stockholm incident, but this one is much more serious. So this was in Copenhagen, Denmark, actually in Christiania, a experimental hippie stoner village, not all that far away from the center of things, but you go across a bridge over a canal, and then it is kind of a separate area that was previously a military barracks, and then was taken over by hippies in the 60s, and became this alternative community that has existed until this day. And so when I was posting my videos of Sweden and Norway, and probably mentioned that I was going to Denmark, then there were several comments from people saying, you got to go to Christiania, which I hadn't heard of before. And so I took note of that and got there to Copenhagen and found out where it was, and then walked over there. The plan, of course, being to film a video and show what was going on there, what it was like and everything. And I didn't really know what was going on, having not been there yet. One of which was the sale of marijuana. And so that is where I ran into a problem, which is that you aren't supposed to film in the center of the community area where they're openly selling cannabis out on the streets there. 2 trees or something, triangles. So there is a sign, a like welcome sign. That's a cute little room for Christiania that kind of explains a little bit about the community. A big like sign at the entrance and it also says no filming. However, I did not see that sign because I walked in a different way. There are various entry routes into the community from different sides, and they do not all have signs saying do not film. And so I walk in and I'm, walking along, filming, vlogging, not too many people around, and then I come to the central area where there are more people. There's like a restaurant, and I don't really know what's going on. I haven't realized yet that people are selling ganja right there on the street. And so I walk past this restaurant, and this guy comes rushing out and confronts me and says, "What are you doing filming with your GoPro here in the middle of Christiania? People are selling over here. You're not allowed to film." Like, he was super aggressive and confrontational about it. And so I just kind of stopped and managed to diffuse the situation. But he was really in my face, and might have been even drinking or something, at the restaurant there, or not sure. But anyways, he was overly obnoxious about it. And so fortunately he calmed down and went away. Now, I actually captured that on film. I do not have it. I actually included the clip, the full clip, in the video originally when I posted it. And then there were a lot of comments about the incident, and it was just kind of annoying to read through all these comments about this incident when it was supposed to be about Christiania, and I didn't really want it to be that controversial or whatever. And so I did that trim thing that I mentioned previously, in which I was able to trim out that part of the video, and it is no longer in that video. But so things could have been worse. That is definitely the worst incident in terms of almost getting into a fight over it. Although there's another one that was not as bad, but almost equally dramatic, which I will tell at the end. Nice view. And around the corner here, then it will be the end of the trail, where it gets up onto the mesa and then goes back the other way. So some people had asked in the comments under the last video if these grooves were natural or carved out by the ancient peoples, or maybe carved out by rangers in the course of making the trail. I don't know, but I'm pretty darn sure that it isn't a result of the rangers carving this out, because you don't even need it. You could just walk along here, and then also you can see here it makes a right turn and then goes down over there, which isn't actually the trail, I don't think, or maybe it is. I thought this was the trail, but that is, a lot of work to carve out rock like this. I'm sure that was not carved out by rangers to make the trail, because you could just walk along the rock easily enough. Now, the next question is it natural? I haven't a clue. I mean, it could be a result of water, although it goes both ways. Downhill there, and then downhill there, and equally deep there and over there. That does not look like a result of water. Where's the, drainage going into it? And there isn't going to be much water up here anyways. It's super dry out here in the desert. So that just makes no sense at all that would be a result of, natural forces. So it seems like it must be created by the ancient people. So pretty amazing. Now, I wanted to give a shout out to one of my viewers because of this t-shirt, Rocco. So I showed a t-shirt like this previously. This person made 3 of these t-shirts for me. I think that I've shown 2 previously, and then this is the 3rd one. So these are both photos that I took in the course of my travels. This is Egypt. You can see the pyramid there, and a couple of horses. And then on the back is Cappadocia. These are both from my 2009 trip to Greece, Egypt, and Turkey. So Cappadocia, Turkey on the back, pyramids of Egypt. Nice shirt. It is nice and cool, so good for a hot day. All right, let's keep on walking and talking. So the next story is a couple of years after the other ones, and I am basically telling all of the stories that I could think of in this video. So it's like 8 or 9 stories or something. So for 12 years of travel vlogging, you know, that isn't too many incidents. So a couple years later, in 2019, then I was in Mexico, went to Sayulita, and I made a video of my journey getting there from Puerto Vallarta. And at the end of the video, then I arrive at the hostel where I'm staying, and a girl there gives me a tour of the hostel. The girl who's checking me in, I think that she was American. And so I filmed her while going around the hostel, giving me this tour. And then shortly after posting it, a couple days or a week later or something like that, then she contacts me and says that her boyfriend is like a psycho who's trying to find her, and she doesn't want to be in the video. And so I did the same thing and trimmed her out. And then it was a couple of months later that I was in Malta, and I made a video of Valletta, the capital of Malta, little island nation in the Mediterranean, a autonomous country. And after posting my video of Valletta, then I got a message from a girl again saying she didn't want to be in the video, and she gave the exact time. And this one was kind of funny because she was literally in the video for about like 1.5 seconds, like walking behind me or something like that. And so once again, I trimmed her out of the video. So the next incident takes place in Alaska, in Juneau. I was there earlier this year. And I was taking a flight. Nice big one here. So I was taking a small plane flight from Juneau to Ketchikan in the southeast panhandle of Alaska. And I'm waiting in the airport, and a guy was sitting next to me like 2 or 3 seats away, just a small room. The waiting area for the small planes is a very small terminal. It's next to the other international terminal, which is bigger, but still not very big. So this guy is sitting 3 seats away, and then 2 or 3 seats away on the other side is a woman. And both of them had dogs. So this is the end of the trail. I would love to wander in there, but do not enter. So here you go up the ladder. Let's see if I can keep on filming, get up the ladder. And so one was like a larger dog, and one was a smaller dog. I forget which one on which side, but the dogs like kept looking at each other. I'm not sure if they were growling or what, but they were obviously kind of interested in each other and like kind of wanted to sniff or whatever, but they were both leashed. And so it was just kind of this funny interaction between dogs. And so I'm sitting there with my camera already in my hand because I'm filming a video about the flight over to Ketchikan. So here's another one of those grooves here. And more petroglyphs over there. And so I just thought that it was kind of a funny scene. And so I turned on my camera and just kind of turned the camera over to capture the dog on the left, and then turned it to capture the dog on the right while they were both looking at each other. And that was it. That was just going to be like this just random little thing in the video. And so a couple of minutes later, then the guy asked me, I forget if he said, is that a video camera? Or he asked if I was filming, or maybe both. I think that he asked if I was filming. And so I said no, because I wasn't. I'd stopped the filming. And then I kind of explained that it was a video camera and I was making a video about the flight over to Ketchikan. And basically he didn't like that I was filming him. And he kind of made that clear. I forget exactly what he said, but you know, it was like, I saw you pointing the camera around, I thought maybe you were filming me or whatever. And I forget if I ever actually confirmed, yes, I was filming you. I might have kind of managed to get around completely confirming that. But when I explained that I was making a video about the flight over to Ketchikan and, you know, just that it was like a travel video that I was filming, then he seemed to kind of relax and not care too much. So that was basically the end of it. But that was a situation where I probably should have not filmed. Even though I wasn't filming him, or I wasn't intending to film him, it was about the dogs. You know, I wouldn't do that pointing a camera right at somebody, right in their face in that kind of a circumstance. It's different when you're walking past people or you're having a interaction already with a person and you happen to have the camera there and going, as opposed to somebody is minding their own business and you're not interacting with them or anything, and then you just like point a camera at them. Like, you know, that's rude and I just wouldn't normally do that. But in this case, I kind of did inadvertently in the course of filming those dogs. So that was definitely a lesson of like, watch out, you gotta be a little more discerning about situations, because as a vlogger, then you get used to the idea of just filming all kinds of stuff and filming people and having the camera in your hand a lot of the time ready to go, and you can get a little too casual about it. And so I think that's what happened in that case. Was if I had thought about it a little more, I would have not filmed him and kind of invaded his space in that way while he's just sitting there relaxing, waiting for a flight. And so you just have to decide in the moment, is this something I should film or not? And the tricky part is that it depends a lot on whether the person is okay with being filmed, which you can't know in advance unless you do ask them. But a lot of times it's just a matter of like trying to feel it out in the moment, and maybe if they're like looking down at the camera, noticing it, kind of getting annoyed, maybe you stop or whatever. But there's no easy answer, because you can't know what's going on in somebody's head, whether they even notice that they're being filmed, whether they would mind, whether they would, you know, care about being in a travel video or whatever. So that is just kind of one of the little things you have to deal with on a daily basis in the course of making these videos. All right, the next story is the last and one of the more dramatic ones. And look at these incredible views. Los Alamos, right there. You can see a weird kind of a white thing sticking up that is probably something related to the Los Alamos National Laboratory, is in the town there. This is where the atomic bomb was developed, the Manhattan Project, right there. Pretty wild. And then roads going out to Espanola and White Rock and Bandelier National Monument, which I went to. And then Santa Fe is out there, and Taos, New Mexico, up there somewhere. And so the last one here takes place earlier this year when I was in San Francisco, California, and flying to Mexico in like April or something. I'd stayed at a hostel for the night in San Francisco and then had a flight the next morning out of SFO Airport. So I've done the same walk many times because it is a hostel that I oftentimes stay at, Music City Hostel. And then it is like close to a mile or so down to the closest BART station, fortunately downhill. And so I decided to make a video showing the whole flight and everything, getting to Mexico City, and then I'm staying at a capsule hotel in Mexico City for the night. And so I decided to make a montage of street scenes that will have music over it in the course of walking to the BART station to catch the BART train out to the airport. And so I'm showing various street scenes and like street people and stuff like that. And I come to a area with all these street people along the sidewalk. There were probably tents. You know, this is becoming an issue in many cities, is people putting up their tents on sidewalks and stuff. And so I kind of have like a little, like, should I film this one or not? And so I decided to give it a try because it's always worked in the past, you know, just walking past people on the sidewalk. Nobody's ever said anything. And so I walk across the street and I'm filming, and this woman, clearly a homeless lady, is walking towards me, and she obviously notices that I'm filming. And as I get closer to her, and I'm kind of holding the camera, I'll show like this. Imagine that my hand is holding a camera, and I'm kind of holding the camera down like this, which is what I oftentimes do when I'm trying to be a little more discreet, so it isn't as noticeable as, like, you know, walking just like this. But she sees the camera, and as I get close to her, she puts out her arm where my camera is going and literally goes right up to the camera like this. Literally puts her hand right up against the camera like that while I'm walking past her. And so I turn the camera down, and then she says something to me. I forget exactly what, you know, you shouldn't be filming people or something. And I kind of explain, yeah, I'm making this YouTube video or whatever, like I'm just showing some street scenes, you know, no big deal, whatever. But she was annoyed. And so I just basically keep on walking, but I turn the camera off and point it down. And so I'm now like weaving through all these street people on the sidewalk. And she speaks up as I'm walking down the sidewalk with my backpack, my big backpack on my back. And she says, "That guy is filming," like kind of loud. And luckily, people don't really seem to care because nobody else says anything. But she then proceeds to yell after me as I'm walking down the sidewalk for like the next 2 blocks. "That guy is filming, look out, that guy is filming." Literally for like the next like 2 or 3 minutes as I'm walking down the sidewalk. But I wasn't actually filming anyone anymore. I was still holding my camera because I didn't really have the chance to like put it away or whatever, but I just kept on walking, and nobody else said anything. Like a couple people kind of looked at me because of the lady yelling, and luckily that was it. But that was a really, really awkward situation to be in. I just kind of hate that feeling of when somebody catches you filming and doesn't like it, as you saw in the first clip there, and then you're just stuck standing there holding a camera, like feeling like a jerk. But that is just the way it goes. That is one of the risks of being a travel vlogger. So I'm going to finish this video here. There's another ladder over there. Get back down, get back to the car, edit this video, and then I am taking off to another country very soon. Looking forward to it. It's going to be an awesome adventure. So take it easy. Lots more coming. See ya.